Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so we are talking about the ketogenic diet and about diet in general, food in general. We talked yesterday about how our eating behaviors are hardwired into us and associated with reward chemistry, brain chemistry that is linked to what are called pleasure centers. We have little areas in the brain that are associated with pleasure. And ironically, while our brains are hardwired for pleasure, we have created for ourselves a very unpleasurable world filled with messaging of fear and angst and literally terror. We've created a world for ourselves that is filled with terror. In the old days, not the old days, but millions or hundreds of thousands of years ago, the terror was tigers, real tigers. Today, the terrors are artificially induced. Ironically, we got the means and the wealth and the abundance in the 21st century on this amazing planet of ours where survival is no longer threatened. We got plenty of food, we got plenty of abundance, but we've created a world. We got artificial survival threats. So instead of tigers, we got credit card bills. Instead of starvation, we've got pollution and mercury and poison water. Instead of pestilence and vermin, we got the IRS and the tax code. And when we understandably look for some kind of pleasure or peace of mind in the midst of this artificially produced, synthesized world of horrors, our pleasure centers get hijacked for profit by snack food industries and the fast food companies. So eating addiction is understandable. On top of the fact that we're hardwired, that we have evolutionary designed hardwiring, the result of hundreds of thousands of years of food deprivation that compels us to eat. On top of all that, we created this artificial planet of misery that pretty much compels us to look for pleasure wherever we can find it. And lo and behold, we have Snickers bars, and French fries, and ice cream, and apple pies, and candy, and all the things we get addicted to in terms of food, and drugs for that matter, and alcohol for that matter. You know, there's a major relationship between alcohol addiction and dopamine, not surprisingly. Once you understand dopamine is our reward chemical. Reading from the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, dopamine's role in alcoholism. Deficiencies in dopamine are associated with a number of conditions, including addiction, depression, and psychological and neurological disorders. So, we get addicted to substances that are stuck in front of our faces every minute that we're alive, pretty much. We're addicted to food because it's one of the few places we can find a moment of peace. When we're raising that spoonful of delicious Ben & Jerry's to our mouths and tasting it for that brief second or two, our brain is being flooded with dopamine, with reward chemistry. Our brain is going, yippee! And our credit card bills and the New World Order and the globalists disappear into the ethers. Only to return, of course, when that little spoonful of ice cream disappears. And so, of course, we take another spoonful and another bite and another drink, and on and on and on it goes. And in this way, we become addicted to foods. And there's not a single person, including me, including myself, who knows all about this, who's immune, because it's hardwired. It's built into our brains. And for many of us, we end up becoming non-stop eating machines. And this is not to beat anyone up. It's just about our health, because the price we pay is cancer. The price we pay is irritable bowel syndrome. The price we pay is heart disease. The price we pay is diabetes. The price we pay is watching our loved ones suffer. The price we pay is our suffering. The price we pay is autoimmune disease. The price we pay is Parkinson's disease and IBS and the general health misery that 100 million Americans are dealing with. And this is the ultimate tragedy because it's so unnecessary. And it's not genetic, by the way. So don't let anybody tell you that nonsense. None of this is necessary. It's heartbreaking and it's tragic. And I, as somebody who's a healthcare professional, who's been a healthcare professional for 30 plus years, has to watch it, and it just breaks my heart. You won't believe the letters I get. I got a letter yesterday. This guy's got hypothyroidism. I'm reading this letter right now. This is amazing, right? Hypothyroidism, enlarged lymph, tinnitus, sleep apnea, penile deprivation, bursitis, sarcoiditis. This is one person, and he's got pain in his joints. This is so tragic, you guys, and it's not our faults. because there are profit centers that are maintained by corporate interests that will spare no expense to make sure our addictions never end. Especially our food addictions. The food business is the world's biggest industry. It's worth trillions of dollars. And the profit margins in processed foods are such that the biggest companies on the planet are processed food companies. And they employ 1 billion people. 1 out of 3 people on the planet is employed by the food industry. And they operate independent of the countries that they supply. They're multinational. In many countries, they have their own armed forces. Yes, food companies have their own armed forces. Their political power is such that they not only control what we eat, but what we want to eat. They control what we think we're supposed to eat. They're behind the government recommendations that tell us what are the good foods and what are the bad foods. They're behind the recommendations of the medical associations, as well as the belief systems of the doctors and the healthcare professionals who are the members of those associations. The tyranny and the hegemony of companies like Monsanto and ADM and Nestle, by the way, the world's biggest food company, is bad enough in this country, but oh my God, in the third world, holy moly. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side.
If you want to raise the next generation of patriot leaders, take a look at Freedom Project Academy, a Judeo-Christian online school for kindergarten through high school. No Common Core teaching methods or high-stakes testing. Freedom Project Academy is government-free, doesn't accept any government funding, and is a fully accredited private school. All classes are taught live online with real teachers across the country. Open enrollment runs March through July, but classes fill up quickly. Check them out at fpeusa.org. That's fpeusa.org.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Attention citizens. This man has received national attention for accurately predicting every major financial trend, including the market crash of 2008. His name is Harry Dent. And in his newly released book, he is making even bigger and bolder predictions that have the potential to devastate the world economy and your personal wealth. You can get a free copy of Harry Dent's bestseller, The Demographic Cliff, containing never-before-published information by simply visiting www.harrydentresearch.com. Again, that's www.harrydentresearch.com.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Okay, so we're addicted to food. It's not our fault. We're hardwired to eat. We're hardwired to be eating machines because for most of our existence on the planet, there wasn't a lot of food. And to make matters worse, these food drives that are hardwired into our brains are manipulated by some of the biggest companies in the world. Monsanto, ADM, Nestle, a lot of companies we never even heard of. And in the third world, it's even worse. In the third world, it's created this environmental apocalypse with rainforest clearing and polluted toxic water and air, not to mention the economic impact on peasants and farmers who can't afford the food that's produced off the land that they're evicted from. All of this, of course, with government complicity. The bottom line is the food choices we make are influenced by factors that we are not conscious of and, unfortunately, not always in control of. And almost always by factors that are not in our interest. It's like we're trapped in this hypnotic prison with bars maintained by this constant drumbeat of fear and promised relief simultaneously. Fear and promised relief. Fear of survival and fake temporary relief provided by food companies and drug companies and car companies and clothing companies and all the trappings of our modern world that we've created to provide this false sense of happiness, false sense of pleasure, false sense of peace of mind. But here's the thing. We hold the keys to our own prison. We hold the keys. At any moment, we can activate our own pleasure centers without food. We can turn on our pleasure centers without material trappings. Something as simple as deep breathing. Something as simple as just softening our focus. When we soften our focus, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system. We look at two parts of our eyes. We look out of the center of our eyes, and we look out of the sides of our eyes. When we look out of the centers of our eyes, we activate what's called beta brain waves. And those beta brain waves are associated with the sympathetic nervous system. They're associated with focus, with concentration, with tigers and lions and bears. But the sides are associated with alpha brain waves, with relaxing brain waves. Just by focusing on the sides, we can turn on the relaxation response. Something as simple as how we gaze, something as simple as softening our gaze can activate the relaxation nervous system. Something as simple as a massage, something as simple as a hot shower or a hot bath or a hot tub, something as simple as meditation or spirituality, or even petting a cat, even having a cat or a dog, even looking at a cat or a dog. From WebMD, studies have shown that Alzheimer's patients have fewer anxious outbursts if there's an animal in the home, according to Lynette Hart, PhD, associate professor at the University of California at Davis School of Veterinary Medicine. Pet owners with AIDS are far less likely to suffer from depression than those without pets. The benefit is especially pronounced when people are strongly attached to their pets, says researcher Judith Siegel, PhD. In one study, stockbrokers with high blood pressure who adopted a cat or dog had lower blood pressure readings in stressful situations than did people without pets. When was the last time somebody went to a doctor for hypertension? They got a prescription for a cat or a dog. We don't. We think this is silly. Some of you out there are thinking this is silly. This is some kind of Boulder, Colorado hippie talk. It's not. It's biochemistry. You upregulate dopamine. You upregulate biochemicals of peace of mind when you have a cat or a dog, or get a massage, or have a hot shower, or gaze out of the sides of your eyes, or deep breathe, or take a hot tub. And of course, there's the food, the link to food. At any moment, we can make better choices, better food choices, and we can eat a lot less. We can tap into our biochemistry with appetite suppressant and appetite control strategies like nutritional supplementation. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine is one of the best weight loss tools you'll ever use. It's one of the best appetite suppressants you'll ever use, because one of the reasons we ingest so many calories is because we're looking for nutrition. When we get micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, and trace nutrients, we hit our satiety center much quickly. We become satisfied much quickly. That's why it's important to drink your Beyond Tangy Tangerine throughout the day. That's why it's important to drink your Beyond Tangy Tangerine with your meals. Protein is also very satisfying. Another wonderful way to tap into your eating addictions or eating behaviors, or satiety center, or sense of satisfaction, especially the branched chain amino acids, or BCAAs, the building amino acids. They're found in all high protein foods, and you can get them at health food stores, and you can use them with your meals or between your meals to improve meal satisfaction, satiety. We can refuse to be hoodwinked by commercials and marketing and pretty packaging and cartoon characters and little jingles that are created by advertisers, madmen, who could care less about you and care less about me and care less about our kids and our loved ones. I call that disengaging from the corporate food machine, and it might be one of it's probably the single most important health decision we can make, is to disengage from the corporate food machine. Every time we eat at McDonald's, we're feeding the machine, not to mention destroying our health. And this is not judgment. It just represents a way for us to feel better. It just represents a way for us to give the corporate machine the finger, in addition to taking back control over our lives. Eat less, get healthy. And this is where the ketogenic diet comes in, and this is where caloric restriction comes in. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. All right, tomorrow we'll continue talking about the ketogenic diet. You know, the ketogenic diet actually started as a treatment for epilepsy and as a way to duplicate the effects of one of the greatest all-time health strategies that you could ever employ. The ketogenic diet started out as a way of duplicating the wonderful benefits associated with fasting for seizure disorders. And if you have a seizure disorder, you know, if you're on Dilantin or Tegretol or any of the nasty anti-seizure medication they give folks, which only work half the time anyway, you've had to have your liver tested every 3 to 6 months. If you have to have your liver tested every 3 to 6 months from a drug you're taking, that's a drug you probably don't want to take unless you absolutely have to, which is why you want to know about the ketogenic diet, which is important for a lot of things, not just seizures. But we'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue talking about lipids, fats, fatty acids, fatty hormones, all as it regards skin health on the bright side. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. Please try to call in early so I don't have to leave anybody on hold. And if you've called in the past and we left you on hold, tell our call screener and we'll get you first up. Mark in Ohio, what's going on? Welcome to the bright side.
Hey, Ben. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's going on, man?
There's a lot going on. I was going to maybe make a real quick show suggestion.
Okay.
I love the format, but maybe on Fridays you could leave a couple more segments open for more calls, like Open Phones Friday or something.
I thought about that. You really think that's a good idea? You think the calls are interesting? I mean, sometimes I wonder if people like yeah? Yeah,
the calls are interesting, and, you know, maybe that gives people like the Truth Raider and Skinny Robert and people like that a chance to, you know, share a little more, or maybe even myself. But anyway.
Okay, Mark, I appreciate that. So you say open, maybe we'll do, like, instead of 2 segments for calls, maybe 3 segments for calls or something, or maybe even the whole show.
Yeah, I think that would be great, because I'm a big fan of the show, obviously. I listen all the time. You're my go-to go-to podcast right now.
So let me put that out. Hang on just a second, Mark. Let me put that out to the listeners, all right? You can either send me an email to ben@ksco.com, or you can call in and let me know what you think about that, because I have pondered that. I hate cutting people off, and I like to give people as much time as I can, but sometimes the phone lines get filled. But I think that is... I have been pondering that. So to the listeners, send me an email or give us a shout here on the radio program, 844-236-6010. Let me know what you think about that idea. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. What's going on?
Well, real quick, in the interest of time, I do have a lot to talk about, but for the interest of the flow of the show and everything, as you're talking about keto and intermittent fasting and things, and you even mentioned hacking biology here with our food cravings, are you familiar with Dave Asprey?
Oh yeah, of course. I don't know. I can't say I know him personally, but I've been getting his emails for years now, and he has the same. He has the same philosophy. I think we have similar philosophies.
Yeah, I would say so. But anyways, have you tried or looked into the science behind this bulletproof coffee thing that he promotes?
No. Why don't you tell me? I know there's something about coconut oil and coffee together, right?
Yeah, that's right. So he basically modeled it after some like Tibetan monks or something that would put yak butter in tea.
Okay.
And so he just modified it and made it with
coconut oil and coffee. Okay.
Yeah, and he uses MCT oil. I just use coconut oil. And
MCT oil is coconut oil, actually,
right,
but it's a fraction of it. But I know I see the logic. I see the wheels turning, and it's not a bad idea. Do you like it? Do you like the taste of it?
And I use butter too, clarified butter or ghee.
Does it make the coffee taste good, or do you have to?
It does. So what you do is you blend it. Like I use the NutriBullet, and it makes it, emulsifies it and makes it nice and frothy. And it seems to buffer the coffee. I'm the type of person, my metabolic type is such that coffee first thing in the morning would really, really, amp me up, and I wouldn't feel so well on it. My stomach wouldn't feel so good on it.
It softens the blow of the caffeine the coconut oil does?
It does. And so I think as a intermittent fasting strategy, doing one of these things can get you all the way to lunch.
You see, here's the problem with caffeine. It causes you to burn up sugar, and then you go into hypoglycemia. And that's the problem I have with coffee. Now, it may be that the coconut oil, like you say, it softens the blow a little bit, but the caffeine is just this, and I'm not down on caffeine, and I used to do a lot of caffeine myself. I haven't done it in a while, but the caffeine causes you to burn through nutrition. And for most folks who are undernutriated anyway, it can be a problem. Now, if you're doing coffee as part, and you're including a good nutritional supplement program, and you're making sure that you're doing enough protein and you're not running into low blood sugar, that's one thing. But most folks don't do that. Most folks don't take the time to do that, and if that's the case, they're going to become hypoglycemic, and that may throw off some of the benefits or some of the effects of the ketogenic diet. Now, I can't say that. I'm just guessing from a biochemical point of view. You tell me. You're doing it. Do you find that you get fatigued at all in the middle of the day or anything like that?
I don't get as fatigued in the middle of the day. I can go with, as long as I'm getting at least 6 hours of sleep, I seem to do okay. My problem is right now is that with weight gain, I'm just really underweight, and I need to figure out a strategy.
All right, hang on. I'll give you some good ideas for gaining weight. I mean, you don't want to gain. You want to gain muscle mass. You don't want to gain.
I need my muscle back. I lost 20 pounds of muscle.
Okay, hang on. Don't go away, Mark. We got to take a break. Stay on. Stay with us. And then if you're on hold, stay there. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Benny. We're talking to Mark in Ohio. Mark, thank you for that suggestion about doing Open Lines Friday. If any of our listeners out there have an opinion on that, send me an email to ben@ksco.com or give us a call here on the radio station. I personally love talking to my listeners. I love talking to folks. That's why I give out my phone number to a lot of people, because I like talking to people. That's the most important part of being a healthcare professional, is really touching people and reaching people and hearing what you guys have to say. It's not about me. It's about you guys. So thank you for that, Mark. And then, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you want to build some muscle mass, right?
You got it.
Here's what you want to do. First and foremost, it's a combination of resistance training and protein. That's the first thing. Now, in addition to that, you got to make sure you have all your cofactors for building muscle, and those involve the mighty 90 essential nutrients. But the core of it is going to be a combination of protein, especially building protein, like animal protein, eggs, and if you can find good dairy and fish and meat, as long as they're clean, of course. And then in combination with resistance training. And the best way to leverage the power of these nutrients is to do your nutrients when you come home from the gym. And the combination of resistance training, and it doesn't have to necessarily be, you don't have to get a membership at the gym. You could do a rubber band at home. But weightlifting is usually the quickest way to take advantage of the anabolic response in the body. Now, the second thing you want to do, in addition to the mighty 90 essential nutrients, and in combination with resistance training and branched chain amino acid and building proteins, is reducing your intake of inflammatory foods, especially sugar. Inflammatory foods will suppress the anabolic or the building response. So you got to make sure you're using as much discipline as you can to stay away from those kinds of foods. Fortunately, you won't have to use as much discipline if you're using branched chain amino acids and protein and you're hacking into your body's satiety centers. But the combination of weightlifting, weight training, or resistance training, I should say, with protein and a reduction in the intake of inflammatory foods is your best strategy. Now, intermittent fasting can also be helpful. The body's anabolic or building response is kicked in when you fast every once in a while. You might want to get a book called The Warrior's Diet by a guy named Ori Hofmeckler, if you haven't heard of him. He's got some good information there about about weightlifting and anabolic training, or resistance training and anabolism. And these are some of the ideas that I talk about in this program come from Ori Hofmeckler. And that's Hoffmekler, Ori, O-R-I. Does that help, Mark?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Ben.
Good deal. I appreciate your suggestion very much. Thank you, buddy. All right. 844-236-6010 is our number. Jerry in California. What's going on, man?
Hello?
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, good talking to you. It's a gorgeous day here in Scotts Valley. And
you're a lucky man living in Scotts Valley. I love it out there. Have I met you?
I get all my products from KSCO. I call Dave Michaels my candy man because
he's
usually
a
things
good guy
that
too.
feel this good are illicit.
Have you and I talked? Have you and I met?
Yeah, we have. I try to come and see you whenever you're in town.
Good deal.
A couple times we've met.
Okay.
Here's the deal. I'm switching over to all longevity, and I'm leaning towards a healthy brain and heart pack, and I'm adding glucogel to that makes it kind of equivalent to the body or the bone and joint pack, 2-in-1 or 4-in-1 I noticed there's 2 EFAs in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, and I'm wondering what's up there.
Yeah,
I watched all your videos and Dr. Glidden and Dr. Wallach, and but I haven't run across why there's EFAs doubled up.
Yeah, that's a good question. There's the Ultimate EFA and the Ultimate EFA Plus. Are you doing? Are you a distributor, or are you just buying the products?
Well, I'm just buying right now, but I've been watching or listening to all these videos because I got cataracts and I have one good reading eye, and right now I have Bell's palsy. So I can't blink my good eye, and so I had to drop out of college, and I'm 65. Because I can't read. So
you probably want to be doing. You probably want to be
switching over to all longevity products, and I'm just trying to do the right thing. I got blood pressure issues, slight PVC, arthritis. The typical.
Jerry, they're not.
I know I'm intolerant to gluten and lactose.
Jerry, it sounds like you got a blood sugar issue too. That's what I'm thinking. Are you doing blood sugars?
Only slightly, but my doctor does tell me that I'm like borderline.
It sounds like it based on your symptoms. Those are all symptoms of blood sugar issues. So let me tell you, and that is a good question because I get that a lot. So the EFA and the EFA Plus are they're similar, but they're 2 slightly different formulations. So your EFA, your Ultimate EFA, has got 455 milligrams of omega-3, of what they call ALA, omega-3 fatty acid, and your the EFA Plus has less. So you get less of the omega-3 fatty acids in the EFA Plus. But you get more, and this is why they call it Plus, you get more of the fish oil stuff, the EPA and the DHA. In fact, in the regular one, you only get DHA. You don't even get EPA. So the Plus comes from these 2 additional derivatives of omega-3s. They're called EPA and DHA, and they're extremely helpful. They're not necessarily essential because your body can make them, but they're extremely helpful. And so they call it Plus in that way. But it's kind of a misleading, the nomenclature is a little misleading because in the regular EFA, you actually get more of the plain omega-3 and more of something called GLA. And GLA is really neat stuff. If I had to pick one or the other, though, I would be picking the EFA Plus just because I like the EPA and the DHA. But that's just the nomenclature. And your point is really well taken. They're poorly named. They're poorly named products, unfortunately. But to cut to the chase, there's just a few other slight differences. But to cut to the chase, it's basically that the Plus has a lot more of the fish. They come from fish oil, DHA and EPA, than the regular one does. Even though, in a way, the regular one has more of the plain omega-3 and more of the GLA. So it's just a nomenclature issue, and they're poorly named products. Absolutely. If I had to pick one or the other, I'd pick the Plus. In fact, I always talk about the Plus.
Okay, well, I got no problem with doing them both. The caller, Mark,
yes.
You answered a lot of my questions there because I threw away all my meds a while back because I dropped from I weighed the same thing since I was in high school, and I'm 65 now, about 150, 155 pounds, and I dropped down to 123 in 5 weeks.
Just by supplementing?
I felt like I was dying. So I threw away all the meds, and I immediately started feeling better. Then I started taking BTT, and even better yet, and cut out the bad foods, and I feel like I'm on a roll. I don't eat hardly any sugar.
Hang on, Jerry. Hang on. Did you say you lost the weight when you were on the meds, and you gained the weight back when you got off the meds? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I threw away the meds, and then when I started taking the BTT about a month later, I actually gained back. I'm back up to 150 pounds now, but I would like to. I have almost very little body fat, and I'd like to pack on a little more muscle, but.
Get a rubber band. Get one of those exercise bands.
But it does seem to help when the temperature changes outside. I mean, when you hit 123 pounds, if it's 65 degrees, you're freezing to death, and if it's 85, you're dying from the heat. So,
Jerry, if you can, a couple of tips for you here. Sounds like that might help you. First of all, you want to do all the diabetes stuff. I'd be doing the sweeties. It sounds like you may have some blood sugar issues, although it's great that you're not eating any sugar, but for some symptomology that you're describing, the Bell's palsy and the eye problems, sound to me like you may have some blood sugar issues. So more protein will help you. And then once you get yourself one of those heavy-duty bands, like rubber band deals, where you can exercise with, you can just tie it to your couch and do leg lifts, and you could tie it to a piece of furniture and do curls. You don't have to go to the gym or anything, but that way you can build up some muscle mass, and you also improve your body's ability to handle sugar. That's one of the advantages to weight training, is it helps your body process sugar more effectively, and it helps your body process food more effectively too, actually. Jerry, that's the music. I got to go, buddy. Thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it. Take care. Hope we helped you out. All right, take care, man. Okay, that's all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. Thank you for listening. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time. We'll be back at you tomorrow with more good health information. Don't forget to check out my Truth Treatment products, truthtreatments.com. Take a special look at the Retinol 5% gel. And if you want to sign up to join the Brightside Ben team, we'd love to have you on the team. Call 866-735-2470. That's the phone number for the Brightside Ben phone team. Or you can sign up right from the websites, or you can also buy products right off the websites as well. PharmacistBen.com, CriticalHealthNews.com, or BenFuchsArchives.com, or BrightsideBen.com. Have yourselves a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Hello, my name is Don Wiskin from HeartDrop.com, the distributors of Extendivite, the #1 heart drop that people have been raving about for years. Every February, for the last 16 years, HeartDrop.com has had a Heart Month sale to help you stay heart healthy. For only $115 plus shipping and handling, you can get a 4-month supply of Extendivite in either liquid or capsule form to help you get started on your path to better health. Now is the time to stock up. Order what you need. Stay heart healthy all year with the #1 heart drop, Extendivite. To order your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At ContractorExam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, ContractorExam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.ContractorExam.com today.
Hey, I rode the elevator with you, but I don't work on the upper floors. I just want to squeeze in there right next to you, so the RFID scanner in my pocket can capture all your personal information, your debit and credit cards, even your work ID badge. So your identity is now my identity. Going up, so am I.
For over 10 years, ID Stronghold has pioneered RFID blocking wallets and ID badge holders for consumers, the U.S. military, and even the Executive Office of the President. Shouldn't you be protected too? ID Stronghold wallets cost about the same as wallets in most stores, but give you extra protection.
I'm Walt Augustinowicz, founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. Don't be a victim of electronic pickpocketing. Protect yourself from crimes you can't see with ID Stronghold wallets, card sleeves, and purses.
Visit idstronghold.com and get the original RFID blocking wallets and badge holders. idstronghold.com.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. goberkey.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Don't know what's in your drinking water? Better get a ProPure. With the Pro 1 G2.0 all-in-one filter, remove over 200 contaminants, including fluoride and lead. Taste water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure water filtration products. There's a ProPure system for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details on our current free shipping special or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.